Oh, you guys, I was already like packing up my stuff and ready to call it an afternoon. But I just, as I was like just switching everything off, um, something said to me, do a video on faith. I'm like, don't I always do videos on faith? Isn't what I just said now about faith? And so the message is really to address faith as in terms of when you are going through a difficult time. Want me to talk about that? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just hearing in my mind what I'm being guided to talk about, and I'm like, don't want to talk about that. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so why I've been on and off a little bit with my videos is just, yeah, there's a lot of people very close to me that have passed on, and I'll do a video. You see, it's a very sensitive area. That's why I'm like, can't believe they want me to do. I can't believe they want me to talk about that now because I'm not ready. But for the purpose of this video, I guess I'll share the faith piece. So sometimes you are going to go through things. You might lose a job here, you might lose a relationship here, you might lose a loved one, several loved ones in my case, and all at once sometimes. And you're really not gonna get it. You're not gonna. It's not gonna make sense in the moment. It's just. Get some water. It's not gonna make sense in the moment, and you'll question many things. And you'll feel alone at times, and maybe sometimes you'll feel like, the only person that's going through a tough time. But this is where I feel, at least, if you don't have something, and this is why I have a lot of respect for different cultures, I have a lot of respect for different religions, I have a lot of respect for different faith systems, different belief systems, different things, because I always say that as long as what you do anchors you, honor what anchors you. Remember I said that. But I'm like, as long as what you do anchors you and it fulfills you and it gives you peace, then there is no way you won't find your happiness again. There is no way that you won't find your purpose again. There is no way that you'll stay in a dark place, right? But what I want to encourage everyone here is find that thing that you believe in. Find that thing that you believe in. And yes, while I was doing, again, just brings me to one of my cards this afternoon, and it said, stand up for your beliefs, because who else will? It's not about, and I'll always be saying this, it's not about, I'm not here to make you believe in your ancestry. I'm not here to make you believe in ancestors. I'm not here to make you believe in angels. I'm not here to align you to my belief, right? I'm not here to assign you to my higher power. What I do want to encourage is that you engage with your spirituality in whatever way that means for you, and be open to new forms of spirituality, because they don't have to exist in isolation. They don't have to. There's a lot of things that we don't know about ancestors. There's a lot of things that, because abantu bayathanda, they like to lean on, oh no, ekhaya ngabantu becawa okanye ekhaya we were thina si-Catholic ekhaya sakwenza into ezithile ekhaya, izinto ezithile sazingenziwe ekhaya, and right. Not understanding that, remember, you have a certain lifespan, and the people that you would have been born into have a certain lifespan, and the people that they have been born into have a certain lifespan, right? And there are so many pieces of information that you don't have. Okay, now you might think that you have this overarching knowledge over your family and saying, no, Tinekai, we do this or we don't do that, and meanwhile you are closing yourself off to ancient wisdom, to things that your ancestors did actually do. And that's why you need to keep an open mind. You are an adult. Okay, I think mostly I'm talking to adults, but you know, I mean, maybe teens will watch this, but if you are of sound mind and you can make your own decisions, be open-minded, lean towards open-mindedness, because you might be closing yourself off to something that will open up your whole world. Don't be so fixated on, you know, the Christian way or this way or that way or the whatever. For example, me myself, my grandfather was a church person. He was, you know, and even my grandmothers and but my great grandmother was an incredible how do I say, but she had just a natural gift of being able to create medicines that helped people. And none of them, my ancestors, my even my they I don't know one that initiated or that went on a particular spiritual journey, but I do know that they have had spiritual gifts that they used in some form or another, and some of them didn't use it and some of them did. But I think fortunately for me, they've never been like, for instance, I say my grandfather was like the church person, but my grandfather was the one to diagnose me. He was the one, he knew, like he never said to me, you know, you have a spiritual gift, but how did he know what medicine to do for me? Because I remember that day, I think I've take second time Melissa the story, when I came from Cape Town, and that was at the height of my anxiety and panic attacks. They were really bad, and blackouts and everything. They were bad, and so my mom was telling my grandfather that this is what is happening with her, and so my grandfather, we woke up the next day, and I was leaving the next day, and he is, hey, and I remember, I think I asked my mom, because he's just up and down and up and down, and he's in the garden, and he's mixing what, and he's mixing this, and he's mixing that, and then he just calls me to the kitchen, and such a fond memory. He calls me to the kitchen, and he says, okay, so, and it was like, and I'm pretty, like, I'm in my 20s, so I'm like still like feeling hip and whatever. So I'm like, how am I? So I'm gonna be this random girl, you know, or I'm the 2 liter with some brown looking, you know, medicine and some herbs things at the bottom. But he said that when you get to, was it school or was I at working already? I can't remember. But he said that, I think I was working already. And he said, just take a spoon of this. Whenever you feel like and you feel like you have a panic attack coming on, or you've got anxiety, just take a spoon of this medicine and drink it. I'm telling you, I had been to doctors. I was, like I said, I was on antidepressants and then it helped. It helped. How did he know what to make me? That was so shady. Like, I feel like whenever I pray, I'm like, yes, why didn't you tell me? He's like, no, you needed to see for yourself. And he's the one that helped me. And so, you see, as much as I could have been someone who then says, oh no, my people are church people, we don't do that at home. And God, he's my church going grandfather, who is the person of the church, who had a church at home, who even at some point had a church at home, and he is the one who is mixing a traditional medicine for me to get better spiritually. So and I think that's where my open-mindedness comes from, because I know that they, you know, keep an open mind even today, as much as because apparently that you take on the method of seeing that your Gobela does, and I took on the Matambo from my Gobela. But if you come for a reading by myself, I used to just have, the bones, and I use my intuition obviously, and but now I use so many different things. Like I use things that I'm called to use. Like I recently, from this year, like my readings have had, I'm using tarot cards, I use other angel messages cards, I have all sorts of things going on, and they always and I use incense sticks to like clear my energy, and all of them work. All of them just make me feel better, and they help me deliver the message clearer, to be honest. So I'm not. And which of my ancestors used cards and and had like incense sticks and things like that, and crystals or whatever? None of them. I don't know any one of them that use them. I mean, I use the Bible, I use Matambo, I use my intuition, the cards, anything I feel called to. But it's just like, learn to engage with your intuition. The more open-minded you are, the more your intuition will open up, the more your third eye will open up, and that is your third eye and your intuition. That's what's going to guide you in terms of how to navigate your spiritual journey, and have faith that everything is going to work out. If you're going through a tough time, it will. Find a way that you're not getting stuck there, because that's unfortunate, right? Imagine if you just get stuck in a horrible place and you can't get yourself out of that, and that's where your faith will come in. It's really going to help you, to help get you out of a tricky situation. Okay. I mean, also I could sit here all day and tell you to have faith all day. At the end of the day, it's a personal choice. You do need a nudge from certain things. Maybe you come across this video, maybe you come across another video, maybe many things, but it does get better. It does get better, and you can feel like yourself again. And even if you don't necessarily feel like yourself again, maybe you feel like you lost yourself a little bit with those experiences, especially losing your loved ones. Maybe you feel like there's a part of you that went with them. There's beauty in finding yourself again, even if it's a version of you that looks a little different from the previous versions of you. But so long as you are still here, so long as you still walk among us, I believe there is a purpose for you. There is a purpose for you. There is a reason why you're here, and your light will shine again. And I hope that you will share it with others. Okay.